Yo, what's good? Yo, have you guys been paying attention to this game? I saw this game at some type of like gaming event. I forgot what it was on the internet, obviously. And I think they just showed a trailer. So I don't know. This might be the same trailer, but I also got another video where it shows gameplay. I'm not gonna lie, this game looks really, really good. And I haven't played a turn-based game since like Final Fantasy X, I want to say. That was a long time ago. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it's about time I get back into a game like that, where it's turn-based. But I think this is like turn-based with like a.
Do you know what it means to disappear into nothingness?
I think this is turn-based with a twist. I'm gonna go over
Their memory.
I'm gonna go over the gameplay mechanics that somebody else already played after I go through these two videos.
Their dreams.
Expedition 33.
Their love for each other. We exist for as long as she wants. You won't yet understand. But this is a kindness, not a cruelty.
The plan doesn't change. We keep heading north. We aim for the monolith.
I am not letting Mael die out here.
I've been having nightmares.
I mean, visually the game looks really, really nice.
Why do you refuse to see I am doing this for us?
Felt familiar somehow.
May everything be decided
Before their very eyes
between the bars.
of their prison,
Andy
shadow.
Serkis,
of the monolith.
Ben Starr. I'm not too sure who Ben Starr is. I heard that's like a big name too. There's a lot of really good big name voice actors for this game. And if you're not familiar with Andy Serkis, he does a lot of voice acting. Like I know he's very, very well known for doing the voice of Gollum from The Lord of the Rings. That's when he blew up. Oh my precious. You know that guy, Gollum? So he done Gollum and he done a lot of other things. I can't remember everything else that he's done, but he's very famous for voice acting. So if they got him, you know they trying to get you like immersed in the story because they trying to get the real actors. You know what I mean? But this looks sick though.
See you. In the next life.
See you in the next life. So it's saying spring next year, so that could be any time between like March, June. You know what I mean? Just a quick thing with this game, from what I heard, it's as far as the story goes, it's something about like this something that is basically wiping out. It's like basically wiping out the population. Basically, I think it's like wiping out the population. I don't know if it's every year or something like that, but it's like they're saying that it's like putting like a number on like a wall or something, and they're like they're counting down. Basically, they're counting down. Like every time they put a new number, it's like counting down from like 50 or 49, 48, and you're like wondering like why are they counting down? So basically, it's like whatever number they get to, they're like wiping out like whatever age is like the same as that number. So if you're like 55 years old, they wiping out everybody that's 55 years old like this. Like I don't know if it's like a snap, I don't know what, But apparently, they right now where the game takes place, they're at the number 33, right? And you know the name of the game is called Expedition 33. So what they're saying is like every year, I guess, there's people being sent out to, I guess, to like destroy whatever's causing this, and they like keep failing. So now Expedition 33, at this point in the game, like the oldest people, I guess, in the world at this point is 33. That's the oldest age. It's like the oldest age that's alive is 33-year-olds. They're like the seniors. They're the senior citizens, basically. Like they're the oldest age. And I guess you're playing as the group that's going out to try and stop this thing. And I guess, I don't know if everybody in your group is 33, but you know, that's basically what I heard so far from the story. I'm gonna go over more detail into that after this next video. But I just want to give you some context as to what the hell is going on in this game. I think that's pretty interesting, right? I never heard anything like that. That's a different type of story to me. All right, this video, you want to watch this one? I think this one has more gameplay. It looks like he's underwater. Is he running around underwater?
'68. Elodie's expedition.
You know the commanders of every expedition.
Expedition 68. Their boat was blown into the air by a storm. Lumiere lost sight of it, but assumed they crashed on the continent.
So by Expedition 68, I'm assuming he's saying that, like, I guess the oldest age at that time was 68 years old. Now, these people don't look like they're 68 years old, but I guess when the number was 68, whatever number they wrote on the wall to let people know, like, this is the countdown, I guess that expedition for that year, I guess they went out to try to stop, and I guess it looks like they failed.
And they survived. Storm, at least.
All right, let's keep moving. We found the weird corals. Mael must be close by.
How are they walking around underwater? So I don't understand that.
Wait. Everyone. Looks like a different species.
Doesn't matter. They're between us and Mael.
I like how they get into combat. Like, you know, like in Pokemon, it's like they just come out and it's like right? You know how like a Pokemon is just like starts like that? It looks like in this game, like somebody strikes and it's just combat. So I like that. I like that.
Let us stain them.
Okay, so they got like these quick time events. You notice in like the quick time press X and things like that. From what I heard, there's different quick time events that can occur during your turn-based battle that can either enhance your abilities or cause a different reaction to happen, even defensively, I guess, to dodge or to parry. And this is all in a turn-based battle system, so that's kind of interesting. I'm curious as to how that feels when you play it. I'm not gonna lie, this game gives me the
Slow
order.
down. We don't know what's
The
inside
Order
yet.
1866, I think it's called. It's gonna be like the Order vibes, but turn-based. Like steampunk.
This building has a certain melancholy beauty. A lone outpost of humanity nestled amongst the corals. A sailor lost at sea.
Our resident cynic is now.
Wouldn't expect a Cartesian engineer to understand beauty. This should help.
New Pictos. I feel like doing like a breakdown video of like those little things, like the little messages when they're in combat, like the different abilities. I feel like I don't know if I'll do a deep dive on that, or maybe I'll just watch it for myself.
Watch out!
What is this?
You're right.
It only attacks when...
It's
Wow.
coming.
What? You stepped on a rose? Okay. So you see how I was saying like you parried and you dodge? I'm wondering if that's automatic or if you're doing something, you're pressing something to do that. So I'm curious about that. It looks like this is like this is being played on like the PlayStation right now. You see how I said perfect? So I'm guessing it's because of the quick time. He's like pressing X, I guess, at the right time. You see that? Okay. Yes. Not gonna lie. Like, are you pressing something to dodge? That's what I want to know. Okay. Gustav.
Gustav, wait! It seems peaceful. As long as we don't touch the flowers.
Yeah, let's not get too sentimental. It's still a paintress creation.
Okay, I think Paintress is like the main villain that's causing all of this.
Putain!
Get out of here, bro, like the Hulk.
Maya, what was that?
It felt familiar somehow.
Gustav, we won't understand what's going on if we kill everything that moves.
The Gestrel village must be ahead.
Or what if the Paintress transformed like a person
You know what
into that?
Nevrons are capable of.
She'll be fine.
She'll be fine.
Okay. I mean, it looks good, man. It looks good. It looks good. All right, so that was that. Let me break down what I was learning about this. Cause I learned a couple different things. Let's see. For one, it's gonna be on Xbox Game Pass from what I'm seeing. So I don't know if it's like a day one thing. Like someone said, "Oh, so happy it's on Game Pass." So, I mean, that could be fire, right? If it's on PC Game Pass, that'd be fire for me. But here is a little breakdown. So this is somebody that played it. Somebody named Ryan, right? They wrote this little article right here. So, take my headphones off. So they wrote this little article right here. So just to cut through it, the flashiest of these. Actually, no, I'm not jumping like right in the middle. I want to read all of this. These are the real-time elements. All right, so this person said like they have real-time elements mixed into this turn-based combat system. So the real-time elements, like we saw a little bit of that, where it's like the X, and then it had like a little like line going around, like circling the X. Like I guess you have to press it at a specific point when it's circling. I guess it's like a sweet spot. I guess when you press it, when it hits that sweet spot, kind of like trying to hit green when you play in 2K. You gotta hit the green, you gotta hold it and let go the shoot button at a certain time. So I think it's probably like something like that. Maybe you gotta press it at a certain time or hold X and let go, release at a certain time to get that perfect hit or the strongest hit, I guess. That's what I think they're talking about here. Anyway, it says during any attack by you or an enemy, you can hit simple button press quick time events to either enhance your attack or avoid taking damage. So I think that's probably what happened as far as them dodging and parrying. Even though for whatever reason I didn't notice any quick time prompts for dodging or parrying. I didn't see that. So that's why I was kind of like what are they doing to get out of the way for that? Unless it's like there's no quick time prompt, you just gotta press the dodge and parry button and time it right. I don't know. So this person said it reminded them of the Mario and Luigi games, only taken to the extreme. All right, so it says by using these quick time events on the offensive, you can rush through encounters in no time, but in a more engaging way than just having an auto fight or speed up button, which I guess he generally see as a failure to design interesting combat. The same goes for the defensive side of things, as you can either dodge attacks or go for a tougher parry, which will negate damage. Okay, that makes sense. I guess if you block, you take damage when you block in most games. If you parry, then obviously you just open them up for an attack. Anyway, it says which will negate damage. Let your characters earn back action points. Oh, I heard about action points. I think you can run out of action points and basically you have to like regain your action points in order to be able to attack. And if you don't have action points, I guess whatever character that's next in line to fight, if you don't have no action points, that person gets skipped until they get their action points back to be able to attack. So I'm curious as to how that works, how that plays out. And if you parry every attack in the sequence, you can counter attack. Okay. All right, so this person says it opens the door for great things like a no damage run of the game. So those people that like to speed run games or like to go no damage, like basically not get hit once in the entire game. I guess they're gonna be able to get their rocks off with this one. So he says, which the team told me is entirely possible if you have a solid handle on the quick time events. So the team says that it's possible to do a whole no damage run through the game. That's pretty crazy. As for what an average turn looks like, you have to manage your character's, I guess that's the action points, AP, which limits what attacks and abilities you can use, with characters having to skip turns if they don't have enough. So the action points, basically, you gotta like use it wisely because you can run out. And if you run out, your character gets skipped. Now there's ways to go about replenishing it, but it's not like you can just do whatever you want. You gotta be tactical, all right, strategic, basically. Since you have plenty of ways to dynamically regenerate it though, like successfully parrying or countering, which stops the pace from slowing down too much. All right, so he says on top of that, each character has a unique battle mechanic, which adds even more variety. These are things like more powerful attacks, temporary stat boosts, or a stance system that changes that character's abilities. Each character has their own skill tree with abilities that synergize with those of other characters. Okay, so that makes sense. That's like saying you have a character that can make somebody wet, that can just throw water on somebody, right? Have like, I don't know, waterfall of water just drop on somebody. And then maybe the other character that you have in your team has electrical abilities, right? Obviously you get somebody wet and then you dose them with electricity, that should do a lot of damage. Or let's say you throw oil on somebody and then you hit them with some fire, a fireball or something, those two can mesh well to make somebody to do more damage basically. So I guess that's what they're saying. Like the characters, they can kind of complement each other to make each other stronger, I guess, to do stronger attacks. Each character has own. Should I read this right? These are things like powerful attacks. Right. Okay, here we go. So these are things like more powerful attacks, temporary stat boosts, or stances. I read that already. Each character has their own skill tree with abilities that synergize with those of other characters. Okay, it's simple stuff like one character inflicting a status condition that another character can take advantage of. Yep, like what I said. But it all adds up to make party composition surprisingly deep. That's before even getting to the stats and gear side of things. And even here, Expedition 33 takes an interesting approach. Each character only has 5 stats, which isn't many for a JRPG. There's no physical magical attack split, for example. Instead, all of the complexity has been stuffed into the gear. Okay, not too sure what they mean by that. Let's see, the game uses a system called Pictos. Okay, we saw that in the video. They said something about Pictos. You was collecting Pictos, where you can equip accessories that confer stat bonuses, status condition immunities, or special boosts when certain conditions are met. And over time, characters will master these Pictos. Once they do that, it becomes a Lumina, which is a permanent boost, allowing you to switch out mastered Pictos for new ones and slowly build up sets for every character, seeing them grow more and more powerful as the game goes on in ways beyond the standard level up stat boost. Okay. So on top of that, every weapon has its own level. So even weapons you can level up, which unlocks more powerful abilities the more familiar a character gets with it. This is a rabbit hole that keeps getting deeper, and you could quite easily sit there for hours optimizing your party. All of this is wrapped up with an intriguing story, which is what I want to hear more of, because the little bit that I read on the story sounded pretty interesting. So every year, an all-powerful being known as the Paintress arrives. She said every year. So this is important. Every year, an all-powerful being known as the Paintress arrives and paints a number on a pillar, counting down every year. And when she does, all people of that age dies. I wonder what's the point. I wonder why she does that. But that is a crazy concept to think about. So with a population dwindling and the oldest members of society being just 33 years old, that's the oldest members of society, we followed the expedition looking to stop the Paintress forever. So I don't know what's the first age that they started with. I don't know if it was like people over 100, which probably wasn't a lot of people that died, but that's kind of crazy. There is an expedition every year though, and so far all of them have failed. And as the journey goes on, you'll find the remnants of every one of them that failed. So like we saw in that video, he said, oh, this is Expedition 68. And I don't know, it looked like they was like stone or something. So I don't know if she's turning them to stone. So I'm curious as to what exactly is the action that's being taken for them to actually die. Like, do they just pass out? Is it like a I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark kind of situation? Like, so I'm curious as to how that looks. So remnants of every one of them that failed. Sometimes it's part of the story, but other times it's just scattered throughout the levels. Many of the rest stops you can use to restore your health are camps left by previous expeditions. Okay. And while I didn't get to dive too deep into it, it certainly looks like there's a lot of rich lore to be had there. Okay, that's interesting. So I guess if you just, outside of the story, if you're exploring, I guess you'll probably find little notes or find other people that are no longer alive, I guess. And you can find, I guess, items on them that will let you know what happened to them or who they were or if they had a little story behind them. So this person says, I have hope that the story will be well told too. In an era where so much of the writing in AAA games feels stifled and cringeworthy, the handful of cutscenes I got to see here felt natural with excellent voice acting, bringing life to solid dialogue. I think the voice acting in this game is going to be really, really good, because the fact that they had a whole trailer based on, hey, let's introduce you to the cast. The fact that they're trying to show you who's talking, who you gonna be hearing throughout this game. Like, look what we got. You got Andy Serkis, Andy Serkis. That's the GOAT. Like we got Andy Serkis. So it's like, bro, we not playing. So I see they are excited about the star voice acting cast. I like that too, because I like really good voice acting in games. It can really help with the immersion. When you have bad voice acting, it kind of throws you off, Anyway, so this person says he's left feeling very optimistic about how Expedition 33 will turn out. The combat has plenty of depth to keep his attention for a long time, and while he couldn't get a number out of the team, they assured him that it is indeed a long game. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of long games, because I got a whole backlog I'm trying to get through, but I'll be down to play. I'll be down to at least play the game. A long game? Sheesh. Final Fantasy X took me a minute to beat, if I remember correctly. Final Fantasy X took me a minute. That's probably why I haven't done one since then. I think after that game, I was like, yo, I can't play these marathon games. But this looks interesting for me to jump in, though. He says, plus this small glimpse of the story has me wanting to know more about the world and the characters in it, which is super important for a JRPG. The whole thing feels unique, yet familiar, and it has now become one of his most anticipated games of 2025. 2025, that's next year. Next year's gonna be pretty big, man. You got, I guess, this game, if it does come out, I think Crimson Desert is probably gonna be coming out probably next year. Inzoi is supposed to be coming out with a beta sometime this year, but I think the game might officially come out sometime next year. You got Kingdom Come Deliverance, or Kingdom Come De Novo, De Novo, like I said in my last video. But yeah, man. So this is the guy who wrote this article. His name is Ryan Woodrow. Apparently he likes JRPGs. He likes Xenoblade Chronicles. That was like a big game for him. And hey, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. This actually looks pretty dope. It looks really, really dope. I like what I'm seeing with this game. I like the vibe. I like the voice acting seemed cool. The visuals look cool. Even the little combat. Combat looks a little interesting. I like the idea of like, right now there's a lady or whatever, some paintress. She's basically hacking off the population year by year based on age, and we're the age 33 group. And we're trying to stop this, because I mean, once they get to like age like 15 or 12, once you get to like numbers like that, bro, it's basically game over, bro. Like, ain't no 10-year-old going out there stopping whatever's happening. So, 33, that's, most people are in their prime around that time. So hopefully they can get it done, and I'm down to basically get in on that action, or at least hear more. I would love to hear more about the story. But what do you think, man? Do you think this is something to look forward to? Do you like games like this? Are you excited about this? Is there anything that I missed that you may have found that you might want to share with me that could make me even more excited? Let me know in the comment section. And also, I'm going to leave you with this. You might not be into this, but I just got to show you this right here. Like this right here, look at this. This is Inzoi. I just thought it would be funny to show. This is Inzoi right here. This is basically the Sims, like the Sims competitor that's coming out. I'm not gonna lie, this shit looks fire, bro. You know what I mean? It looks pretty fire. But, like, cause at first I was like, I don't know about this game, but I'm like, animations look clean. This is like dancing, cause you can do dance emotes. You can just break out and start dancing in the game. I think my next video is gonna be watching some gameplay, cause I found somebody who actually played the game for about 15 hours, and they got like a whole video going over like gameplay. So I'm probably gonna have like an hour-long video, my next video. So if you want to see more about Inzoi, Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you like the video. You know what I mean? Simple as that, right? It helps the channel grow. We're trying to grow. Road to 1,000. I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers by Thanksgiving. That would be so fire. That's a month from now. I mean, if you're here right now, just hit the subscribe button, bro. Just hit subscribe. We're watching all types of gaming information, gaming news, game reactions. Eventually, I might start streaming after I hit 1,000. You know what I mean? We could play some games together. You know what I mean? Let's lock in, bro. Let's lock in. I'll catch you on the next video.